Lily's school field trip. 1. The exciting announcement. It was a regular Monday morning in Ms. Taylor's classroom when she made an exciting announcement to her students. "Class, I have some great news," Ms. Taylor said with a big smile. "Next week, we're going on a field trip to the Natural History Museum." Lily's eyes lit up with excitement. She had always wanted to visit the museum, especially after hearing about its dinosaur exhibits and special science displays. "That sounds amazing," Lily whispered to her friend Sarah, who sat next to her. "I can't wait to see the dinosaur skeletons." Sarah grinned. "Me too. I've never been to the museum before." Ms. Taylor continued explaining the details. "We'll be taking the school bus to the museum, and we'll spend the whole day exploring different exhibits. Make sure to bring a packed lunch and comfortable shoes." 2. Preparing for the trip. Over the next few days, Lily couldn't stop thinking about the field trip. She told her family all about it during dinner one night. "We're going to the Natural History Museum," Lily said excitedly. "There are going to be dinosaur skeletons, ancient fossils, and lots of other cool things to see." "That sounds like a lot of fun," her mom, Emily, said. "I bet you'll learn so much. Don't forget to take lots of pictures." Jack, Lily's older brother, smiled. "I went there with my class last year. The dinosaur exhibit is awesome. You're going to love it." Lily spent the week preparing for the trip. She packed her favorite lunch, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, apple slices, and a chocolate chip cookie. She also made sure to pack her camera, ready to take pictures of all the exciting things she would see. 3. The day of the field trip. Finally, the day of the field trip arrived. Lily woke up early, feeling excited and a little nervous. She got dressed in her school uniform, put on her comfortable sneakers, and grabbed her backpack. When she arrived at school, the entire class was buzzing with excitement. The school bus was waiting outside, and Ms. Taylor made sure everyone was ready. "Remember, class, stay with your group. And don't forget to listen to the tour guide at the museum," Ms. Taylor reminded them as they boarded the bus. Lily sat next to Sarah, and they talked about all the things they wanted to see at the museum. The bus ride was full of chatter and laughter, and before they knew it, they had arrived at the Natural History Museum. 4. Exploring the museum. As soon as the students entered the museum, they were amazed by how big it was. The ceiling was tall, and the walls were lined with displays of ancient artifacts, animal models, and colorful posters. "Wow, this place is huge," Lily said, looking around in awe. The class was divided into small groups, and each group had a tour guide to show them around. Lily's group was led by a friendly guide named Mr. Carter. "Welcome to the museum, everyone," Mr. Carter said. "Today, we'll be exploring the dinosaur exhibit, the space exploration exhibit, and the ancient Egypt exhibit." Lily couldn't wait to see it all. The first stop was the dinosaur exhibit, and it did not disappoint. Right in the middle of the room stood a massive T-Rex skeleton, its sharp teeth and long tail towering over the students. "It's even bigger than I imagined," Sarah said, staring up at the skeleton. Lily quickly took out her camera and snapped a few pictures. "This is incredible. I never thought I'd see a real dinosaur skeleton up close." 5. The Space Exploration Exhibit. After spending time in the dinosaur exhibit, Mr. Carter led the group to the space exploration exhibit. The room was filled with models of rockets, spacesuits, and pictures of planets and stars. Did you know that astronauts wear special suits to protect them in space? Mr. Carter explained. These suits help them breathe and stay safe in the extreme temperatures of space. Lily was fascinated by the space exhibit. She had always been curious about the stars and planets, and seeing the models of rockets and astronauts made her want to learn more. I wish I could go to space one day, Lily said, looking at a model of the moon. Maybe you will, Sarah replied. You could be the first astronaut from our school. Lily laughed, but the idea of exploring space stayed in her mind. She made a mental note to read more about astronauts when she got home. 6. Lunch and fun with friends. After exploring the space exhibit, it was time for lunch. The students gathered in the museum's outdoor picnic area, where they ate their packed lunches and talked about everything they had seen so far. Lily and Sarah sat with a few other friends, enjoying their sandwiches and sharing snacks. I think the dinosaur exhibit was my favorite, Lily said. But the space exhibit was really cool too. I liked the rocket models, Sarah added. They made me want to learn more about space. After lunch, the group had some free time to explore a few more areas of the museum. They visited the insect exhibit, where they saw giant models of butterflies and beetles, and the underwater exhibit, where they learned about different types of sea creatures. Lily took more pictures and made sure to remember everything she had learned. 7. The Ancient Egypt exhibit. The final stop of the day was the Ancient Egypt exhibit. Mr. Carter led the group into a room filled with statues, ancient artifacts, and even a replica of a mummy. This exhibit shows us what life was like in ancient Egypt, Mr. Carter explained. You can see the tools they used, the clothes they wore, and even the tombs where they buried their kings. Lily was amazed by the history of ancient Egypt. She looked closely at the statues and the detailed carvings on the walls. Look at this, Sarah said, pointing to a display of Egyptian jewelry. It's so beautiful. Lily nodded. It's hard to believe people made these thousands of years ago. The mummy replica was one of the most fascinating things they saw. Mr. Carter explained how mummies were preserved and why they were important in ancient Egyptian culture. Lily took one last picture of the mummy before they left the exhibit. It was a day full of learning and new experiences, and she didn't want to forget a single moment. 8. Heading home. As the field trip came to an end, the students gathered at the front of the museum to wait for the bus. Everyone was tired but happy after a long day of exploring and learning. That was the best field trip ever, Lily said, smiling as she sat next to Sarah on the bus. I agree, Sarah replied. We saw so many cool things today. I can't wait to tell my parents about it. On the ride back to school, Lily looked through the pictures she had taken. The dinosaur skeleton, the rockets, the ancient Egyptian artifacts, it was all so interesting. She felt proud of everything she had learned and excited to share her experience with her family. When they finally arrived back at school, Ms. Taylor thanked the students for being such great explorers. You all did an amazing job today, Ms. Taylor said. I hope you learned a lot and had fun. Lily couldn't stop smiling. It had been a perfect day, full of adventure and discovery.